let's get started. I just refreshed our buffs and all that good stuff, so we should be set on that. That's about it. Yeah. Woo! Should not be awake this early. But I am. Woo! Voiced! Start voiced this morning, will ya? Take your legal obligation. That's a no. Damn it. Everyone appears to be present and accounted for. Good. As you know, the Loporits have introduced the whereabouts of Meteion by means of crystal bequeathed to us by Heidelin herself. So Sultana, she's so cute. We disagree on that opinion. I hate her so much, chat. I hate her! Their quarry's location is a place far beyond the moon. The farthest reaches is the sea of stars, at the edge of creation. A veritable Ultima Thule. Indeed. How then are we to reach it? An excellent question. Lucky for you, I have an equally excellent answer. In theory, with its advanced propulsion systems, the moon is capable of delivering you to Ultima Thule, but the myriad other facilities housed within would greatly impede travel through the Sea of Stars. Even the Mother Crystal may not possess enough aether, enough to bear so massive a vessel to our destination and back. However, if we integrate our Hyper Hopper into your aether burner, we should be able to fire things up and jump our way to the end of the universe in no time. Father, does this mean... Bear in mind the decision was made not solely at my discretion, but with the consent of the Forum. Okay, yeah, good. I was gonna say, that didn't make a lot of sense. Hearing the Loporits' proposal, the Forum was faced with a grave decision. To commit the Ark to this endeavor would mean abandoning both our plans to evacuate the moon and resettle on another star. Needless to say, the proposal invited fierce debate. In the end, however, the Forum was swayed by the simple fact that Heidelin believed you possessed the strength needed to overcome this crisis. The Great Exodus was, after all, a plan of Heidelin's own making. Therefore, if in the 11th hour she would proffer another means by which we may seek salvation, we would be fools to dismiss it out of hand. Indeed, she sacrificed everything, her very existence, to avert the destruction of this star. This is why we have chosen to place our faith in Heidelin, in you. The Ark will be made ready for your voyage to Ultima Thule. What of all the people that have labored so tirelessly to prepare the evacuation? They must be furious. I would not be so sure. They have not forgotten your deeds on Magna Glacies. Nor did your instrumental role in orchestrating the delivery of Antimantite go unnoticed. No, the people do not protest. Quite the contrary. They've expressed unwavering support for you and your mission. Are the Loporits too willing to abandon the Exodus? Were you not listening when we said we were born of Heidelin's love for Atheris and its people? If it means your survival, we would do anything to help. And you're most certainly in need of our expertise where you're going. There's no guarantee Ultima Thule is a place that supports life. An otherwise vexing problem our know-how can remedy. Besides, Heidelin chose us to lead the way to Meteion. Why else would she give you a crystal only we can decipher? But more importantly, we were perfectly content to evacuate Atheris until you brought us here, Ariane, and now we're enamored with the place. So what choice do we have but to save it? Of course, none of this is possible without you and the Scions, so I must ask, are you certain you wish to do this? We'll avert the Foundations, whatever it takes. There's a correct answer, and then the rest. Like, come on. Very well. We shall inform the forum of your decision and begin preparations to bolster the Ark with the Hyperhopper. Hyper-hoppin' lappin' dappin'. The Leopards will coordinate the East of our contingent to have the necessary components transported via the Tower of Babel. Of course, it will take time until the work is complete. For now, pray take your ease. Twould seem there's naught to do but rest and prepare, shall we? Ere we depart, we must leave nothing undone. Quite. Though it is difficult to conceive of how one can best prepare to brave a domain where dynamis governs all. Nonetheless, Hydrogen deemed us worthy of the trials that await. For lack of other feasible options at this late stage, let us trust in her judgment and face Meteon as we are. Which leaves the not-so-small task of coordinating our efforts here with you and Tataru. If all goes to plan, we'll be back before you know it. I certainly hope so. I'll be praying for your safe return. Mayhap it will affect the dynamis for the better. With that settled, we should get some rest, and make the most of our time we've been afforded. The meeting's over, is it? You were there for so long, I started to worry. What did they have to say? The edge of creation, I see. Rest assured, everything will remain in order until you return, and you will return. Actually, Monica, can I borrow you for a moment? Looks like your plans for the interim are decided. With the two of you finished, meet us back at the Baldessian Annex, alright? Welcome, welcome, Chat, I just realized I never did the rundown name. Now it's friend Josh, Quarter Booker DeWitt, Dude 2020, Gal, and Valkyrian. Hello. Hello. I am starting sleepy today. Oh god. Come with me to the Agora, I have something to show you. It's like all my focus is on this video game that we've played the shiz ton of. Jump off! Let me up. Let me up. Oh my god, that is how you do it. I am a god. Boop. Welcome, Marco, to Taru's Bouquet. I've always done my best to provide the scions with fashionable attire, but in your case specifically, I make extra effort to strive for the most functional yet stylish clothing one could ask for. Not that I'm playing favorites, but you are the Warrior of Light. Faced with this unprecedented crisis, I knew you would need an ensemble unlike anything I've created before, and that I wouldn't be able to do it alone. And so, after listening to the world's finest artisans, I finally completed my career-defining masterpiece. But then inspiration struck. I saw a golden opportunity just begging to be seized. With the help of some Thavnerian refugees, I decided to set up shop here in Chardin. Of course, I would never charge you for any of our works, perishable. Varsarud, how are things coming along? Everything's in order, Mistress Tartaru. We'll be able to open shortly. This is why I brought you here. To be our very first patron. Would you mind waiting here a moment longer? Following event cannot be skipped. Alright. That's right. Go do the thing. Go do the thing, real game. Oh, I did not expect to find you here. It's always a safe voice. Yeah. I imagine Nidhana would also wish to offer regards. Alas, after delivering our dragon scales to the engineers, she remained to assist with her work on the Aether Burner. This simulacrum, too, will stay in Charlene while I oversee matters at Rods and Han. It is a rather convenient means to keep abreast of developments pertaining to the final days or anything else. It also allows me, after a fashion, to watch over my people in this distant land. Vasharin, I was hoping you'd stop by. I can't thank you enough for allowing your artisans to work with me here at the boutique. Please, it is I who should be thanking you. This establishment has restored a sense of normalcy to their lives. You've blessed them with newfound purpose, and a means by which to support themselves in these troubled times. What's more, when they last return home to Razadhan, the experience and knowledge they have gained in your employ will no doubt prove a boon to the artistry and commerce of our land. In fact, I came to see how your new employees are settling in, and to express my gratitude for granting them this opportunity. It's an opportunity for me too, as well. Believe you me, the artisans have taught me so much about the Thavnarian craftsmanship. The resourcefulness and the ingenuity are nothing short but inspiring. I can't wait to see what wonders they come up with. I pray your success in your endeavors, Mistress Totteru. Before coming here, I had word of the Forum's decision of what will soon be attempted. It is only then that I finally understood why my father called the star the last bastion of hope. Indeed, it was the last bastion, for the flame of every other star he had encountered had likely been extinguished. I got that! I got it! Yeah, called that. In the boundless dark, the light of brimming life must have been blinded in his splendor. Your journey into the heavens to protect that light. May the scales of my kin serve you well. I have faith you will prevail and restore peace and tranquility to the star. I'd like to visit Razadhan again when it's all over. We should be honored to receive you. There's still much of Razadhan you've yet to see. Forgive me, but I must take my leave. Fare you well, and remember the people of the star have not given up hope, and neither must you. They really like this. Ever since we hit the Casteria, there's been like 3 or 4 of these moments where we just stand here staring and waiting. It's better than just like to stand and wait, I guess, because at least it adds something. Oh, where must I go to get a meal and some flavor in this wasteland of taste? Oh no. No, no. You, my friend, can turn around and never come back. Monica, old girl! My, whatever you doing here? Just turn around, don't come back. Just go. A new bouquet, you say? I've been meaning to expand my wardrobe. Yeah, something with a little more flair, perhaps befitting a man of my station. Though I have nowhere to flaunt said raiment, as long as my confinement continues indefinitely. The young Lord Fortemps insists that so long as there is work to be done, no matter how trivial, I must abide here in Charlene. Thus do I toil
though every fiber of my being rails against it. Why, I've even suffered the company of that brute Sickard to see supplies transported in a timely fashion. Yet he was the one who granted leave this morning to participate in some supposed covert operation. So I suffer instead for his otherwise welcome absence. Now burdened with extra busy work, and without Holoroyd here, there is no one to prepare my meals. I came here in the hopes of finding a nice cafe, perhaps. Alas, the Charlian delicacies I've sampled were lacking in every respect.
Yeah, last year.
The cafe over on the pier. The cuisine didn't appear all that appetizing, but if you vouch for the cooking, then perhaps I will give it a try. Thank you for the suggestion, and ta-ta, old girl.
I hope you fall in the water and the armor holds you down. It's too heavy and you don't come back up. Okay, bye. I mean, what a nice guy. He's not fucking annoying at all. Ah!
Oh. Well, is that Monica and Tartaru I spy? It's all of them!
Hancock, what are you still doing here? You said you were returning immediately after dropping off your cargo.
Yes, that was my original plan. After all, my expertise required, aside from the delivery of goods, is well beyond my purview. But what manner of entrepreneur would squander an opportunity to study the markets of the northern seas? Worry not, I will return straight away to Kukane once I've finished.
Of course you would find a way to turn this crisis to your advantage.
She wounds me, the industrious woman running a new boutique. I am not blind to the travails of those who fight on the front lines to deliver us from ruin. Indeed, I have every confidence they will succeed, and I will make myself and my business ready for their return.
If you believe in them so devoutly, then why not put your money where your mouth is?
Fair enough, Tartaru, fair enough. There is not more I can do to help ready the Ark and our heroes for the maiden voyage, but on your return I shall host a grand celebration in your honor at the Bocariro Inn. Accommodations are quite costly, given the reputation of said establishment, but the East Aldenard Trading Company would be honored to foot the bill. I will appreciate the gesture, but no thanks, dude. A pity, I'm rather fond of the place myself. Nevertheless, I have no doubt we will find another time and cause for celebration soon enough. But let us speak more upon your return, lest I draw even more of Tataru's ire. Until next we meet. Oh, Monica decided to spend your time in the markets, did you? I hate this so much. I no longer hate this. I've missed you boys.
Tataru! Biggs! Wedge! I take it that the Ark proceeds apace.
Aye, it does indeed. Collaborating with the greatest minds of Charlie and Radzan Han has been a rewarding experience, and that's to say nothing of what we've learned from the Loporits. The Ark is unlike anything we've ever had the pleasure to work on. Even Nero was rendered speechless on more than one occasion. I can't wait for you to see it.
And you'll never guess who paid us a visit before we came to Charlian. Alpha! I think he sensed the coming danger and returned to check on us. Yeah, I'm so happy I saw him. I definitely didn't cry, but I wanted to cry. About a tears chat this game is making me cry so much. He was always one to turn up in the need. I suppose that's why he decided to join us here in Charlian. Good thing, too. I didn't know how he does it, but he has a knack for brightening your day just by being there. I love him. I love him so much.
Still hard to believe that we had the means to send you off into the great expanse, though. To the farthest known reaches of everything. I never thought I'd live to see such marvels, yet here I am. More often than not, you're the scions of the catalysts, the sparks, the need for these great innovations. So think how much I've missed out on had I not been a member of the Ironworks.
An awful lot of work, to be fair, but the privilege of being worked like a cart, Chocobo.
There is that too. As busy as you've been, I wish there was more we could do for you, Monica. But no matter what happens, we have to keep believing for a brighter future.
One filled with more adventures, friend. That's my fucking boys. That's my fucking boys. When you head back, would you tell the engineers that we're along shortly with refreshments?
That's very kind of you, Totoro. They'll be glad to hear it. And on that note, Wedge and I should get going. Still a few more supplies to get it before we return.
Ah, it's making me emotional. It's fucking 7:50 in the morning, chat. I hate and love you at the same time. Don't be sorry for the wait. Right this way, if you please. You are a precious little fucking pumpkin, but I have to give you so much shit. So much shit, Tyler. You waste so much of my time. Right. And I believe the two of you have been formally introduced. This is Varsarud from Pakistan. Haven't we met before? Yeah, she looks really familiar. Yes, it was you who helped us Perusa, and then again when crossing airfields, was not? I doubt we exchanged a little more than glances then, but it's kind of you to remember me. Thanks to Mr. Stotru, and I and many of my friends have found gainful employment in this foreign land. It's only natural to feel in the face of calamity. At such times we must look to one another for strength and succor. I know not whether we will come to call this place home or return to Thavnia, but here we are today, and I am glad to have contributed to the cause. And contributed they did by helping make your new garments as durable as possible. We put our hearts and souls into them, and I have every confidence they'll keep you safe in the battles to come. Gods, to think how far we've come since our humble beginnings at the Waking Sands. From the rising stones to the falling snows, and even a certain insufferable someone's Ruby Bazaar. We were fortunate to find friends along the way. Even when you were swept away to the first, Grahati was there to grant you sanctuary. I'll never forget the relief I felt when you all returned to us. I thought my heart would burst. Yours has been a long, long journey, and I've been privileged to watch, often with bated breath, as you preserved time and again. For all the joy we've shared, there's been so much sorrow as well. But I've long since learned you can't have one without the other. Which is why I promised to send you off to the Sea of Stars to smile. And you can be certain I'll be the first one to welcome you back on your return. In addition to your new ensemble, we have Raymond's weaponry for every need, so please feel free to browse our stock. Just getting thrown. Same with this. Hold on, they've got to have pants. And I just missed them. I did. Yeah, this is for sure some of the best work they've done for this class. This looks fucking amazing. I realize you said you've got lots to do before you depart, so I won't keep you any longer. I do hope you can find a moment for yourself. And the others can as well. They said they were returning to the Bardessian Annex, but I doubt they stayed for long. If you decide to go looking for them, I suggest you speak with Creel first. I'm sure they would have told you their plans. Told her their plans. Okay. Is that the pants I think it was? Okay, yeah. The AR set, I want to mock. I loved that set so much. Bruh. What? Insane. Was it Klondike for the rest? I'm wearing new pants now. Cool. You're back! I take it you received your gift from Tolerated. I'm wearing it, Creel. I'm fucking wearing Creel! You're not blind! It was a surprise long in the making, with many hours of fretting to get everything just right. Glad to see you've realized, with great success. If you're looking for the others, though, they've taken their leave. Small coffee bean, welcome to the stream. Your Stola, Tancred, and Norion J have gone to the last stand for a bite to eat. Asa and Grahatia, meanwhile, thought the time would be better spent poring over the books at Nomen. As for Alfnod and Estinian, well, they've elected to pay a visit to levy your estate. Though Estinian seems somewhat reluctant to go. Sure, they would all be glad for your company if you got mine to seek them out. Should you feel peckish, I'd suggest heading the last stand before you've stolen the others finish eating. But above all else, it would be foolish to run headlong into battle, a fatigued mess. So do remember to get a good night's sleep. You know, chat, I've said this before, but I don't think that there is a way that we get out of this without people dying. Monica, come to make the trio of quartet, have you? Please have a seat, and we'll see if I can get you a drink.
Your business with Chitaru was finished.
That it is.
My, what a thoughtful surprise. Whatever would we do without her?
Indeed. And she's right, you know. It hasn't been all doom and gloom.
Feels like a lifetime ago that Master Louis Soir gathered us together to form the Circle of Knowing. Since then, we have experienced much. But rather than feeling wiser, the more I learn, the more I find my knowledge lacking.
Forsooth. As a student, vainly did I believe that I held the secrets of creation in my grasp. Yet that which I had seized was but an insignificant sliver of what awaited in the wider world. Every encounter, every experience hath served to open mine eyes, enlightening and humbling me in equal measure. Even from those whom I called enemies have I learned many a valuable lesson.
Fair.
What will we learn at the edge of the universe, I wonder?
Ultima Thule, where the bringer of the end makes her nest. I, for one, can't possibly imagine. But whatever awaits us there, we will survive. We must. For her.
You've got nothing left to prove, not to Ryan, not to Vinfilia. I know her name's Rin. I'm never gonna call it that way.
Is aught the matter?
No, it's nothing. I just... Well, lately I find myself surprised at how much I've changed. How much we've all changed.
We've come far together, and if we have aught to say about it, we'll go further still. Aye,
This is some
we will avert this calamity and return home. In preparation for which, we must give thought to what we hope to achieve after the proverbial dust is settled.
What with the primals and Asians all but dealt with, I suppose we'll need to look for new hobbies. In all seriousness, though, in uniting to overcome a common foe, the disparate peoples of the world have found a way forward together. It's a truly gratifying sight to see.
Indeed. Though it was many years in the making, we have successfully set in motion the gears of fundamental change. With this, we have fulfilled our humble role as a symbol of hope. And I dare say it is time to bow out. After all, there is no shortage of hands to bear the torch in our stead.
You know, I never really considered I might live long enough to see an after. But even if my time as a scion came to an end, I don't expect that much would change. Traveling the world, going wherever the wind blows, lending a hand to those in need.
A journey for journey's sake. It doth suit thee well. I must confess, I too have yearned to see more of the world.
Mercedia!
We're
We're going to Australia!
I would accompany thee. Mine ability to affect an air of normalcy through artful disguise is much improved, thou must concede.
Aye, well, improvement is relative. You still look suspicious no matter what you wear. What of you, Ishtola? Any grand plans?
Why, continue my quest for knowledge, naturally. To begin with, I wish to know the state of the reflections.
Chat.
To which end
Stop.
I must find a means
They need to
travel
stop
between
putting down death
worlds.
flags.
'Tis the least I must do if I am to keep my promise. Should my pursuits prove unduly arduous, I won't hesitate to call on you. And in return, I will take you to see Reen one day. I'm sure you cannot wait to see the fine young woman she has become.
Spare me.
And what of thee? What wouldst thou pursue at duty's end?
Final Fantasy Australia is my answer.
Here's yours. My apologies for the wait.
Well, shall we make a toast? To victory.
To our comrades.
To the future of the star.
I worry, chat. We are not leaving this alive. Leaving so soon. I suppose it's for the best. If you'd rather not explore the bottom of a bottle with Orion J. I dare say the others would welcome your company as well if you could find them, that is. In any case, as long as you make the most of your time, then that is all that matters. Alright, maybe make my head slightly bigger. We tried speaking with LSA, but she's fast asleep.
Oh. Knowing them, they're probably dreaming about the celestial adventures to come. Just as well. They've been running themselves ragged of late. Unlike you and the others, I'm a few steps removed from the danger and excitement. The things you all get up to never fail to impress me. But by the same token, I can't help but worry. Not only for your safety, but for your happiness. After everything you've sacrificed, you earned it 1,000 times over. From the simple pleasures of tucking into a hearty meal or collapsing into a comfortable bed, to the grand triumphs of visiting legendary lands or finding true love, you deserve all the joy in the world. There is so much that life has to offer, so much to be treasured and shared with those we hold dear. So promise me this. Come what may, you won't give up on your own happiness. When you're out there fighting tooth and nail, it's all too easy to forget. But in the end, your passions will be your greatest strength of all. Remember that.
This feels familiar. Well, 'tis good to be... wait. What am I... Gods, don't tell me I fell asleep.
Not that there's any shame in it, but you were sleeping like babies.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Not a word to anyone. Understood? Not one word. I'm told that sleeping in proper beds of your own choosing is a much more effective way to prepare for battle.
Creole.
So, what were the two of you doing here?
I had a few books to return to the library. Thought I'd take care of it while I could.
And you?
It's a secret. Yeah, that was the best answer.
Oh. What brings you here?
Why does everyone keep asking that?
Ah,
Clearly
so
I'm
you're
saying hi
worried
to
that the
them.
Levier household might again be gripped by turmoil. All is well, I assure you. In my letters home, I had made mention of Estinian, you see. My mother wished to meet the legend in person, and so we arranged to have a spot of tea together.
Where were you in my hour of need? Fell beasts I can face, but I'm not made for idle chit-chat with lords and ladies.
Well, I for one thought you held your own. Mother was the picture of delight.
I might have been delighted myself, were we in a tavern with more agreeable drink. The thought of fleeing crossed my mind, but what then? I'd never hear the end of it, least of all from Tataru.
I'm sorry. 'Twas not my intent to cause you such distress. It's just... it was one of the things I didn't want to leave undone ere we set forth. That's not to say I think we won't be returning. Yet, given what lies ahead, I did not wish to leave for later that which I could do today. After all, tomorrow is never promised.
It's fine. Not like I had better things to do. Besides, seeing you with your mother brought back fond memories of my own. Be we rich or poor, family is family. Well, it's past time we were on our way.
Wait! Since I left home, I've made a great many mistakes. Mistakes for which I can never make amends. But through it all, you didn't give up on me.
Chat, there's so many death flags. I hate this.
To have returned here with you at my side, it means more to me than you know. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Forgive me, but it needed to be said.
I'm the one who owes you thanks. Were it not for you, I would not be alive today, nor come to terms with Nidhogg's spirit.
Feels, yeah.
I am ever grateful.
Suppose I ought to thank you both as well, because that's the one that involves both. Stinian doing that is not an easy thing. Alright, I'm not going to just focus Alphanon. That's fucked.
Well, we needn't make it a competition. You know, this must be what Heidling meant when she spoke about depending on one another. However treacherous the road before us, together we will prevail.
How did I miss so many lookout points? This is what I was looking for. I wanted to see what the white mage set looks like. Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh, I love it. Okay. Sage is also pretty good. Oh, it's just straight up the Yoshi P set. Dragoon's awesome as always. Red Mage is still pretty pog. These are some of like my favorite sets in the game. What's Dark Knight look like? What is... No. Is Paladin the actual set? It is. Do they get the shield? And everything? Yeah. Literally. And it clips, bro! God damn it. It's cool. It's cool. Welcome back, Monica. We're trying to catch your final few weeks before embarking on your mission, I presume. You'll be happy to know your chambers have been cleaned and fresh linens laid out. I pray you enjoy your sleep. That night at the Royal Menagerie in Alamigo.
Get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly. In that transcendent moment, What was it that I sought in you? And what was it that you sought in me?
I'm so salty we have not fought him yet. And thus it dawns. The day of reckoning.
How often have we thus assembled? To combine our knowledge and seek solutions to the problems before us.
Back at the Waking Sands, it was all we could do to address the most minor of troubles. Who could have realized what we'd find when we began to look to the sources of the realm's woes?
At the Rising Stones, we made great strides and shared many moments. From the joyous to the sorrowful.
We've had occasion to call other places home too. Be it Ishgard or Kugane, we were fortunate to find sanctuary wherein we might take stock and continue our fight.
I was honored to host this company in the Crystarium, to stand with you all as we confronted the truth of the star itself.
And now from this place, we go to fight the most important battle of all. The Forum has sent word. The Ark is ready. The Loporrits naturally will be commanding the vessel. They will see the 8 of you to Ultima Thule.
There's no way everyone gets out unscathed. Like, mechanically, maybe, because of, like, the fate trust things.
Is to find and vanquish
but I
Remy.
feel like people are gonna die.
As a final formality, the Forum bade me ascertain your resolve. So, are you certain you wish to do this?
Gotta stop asking that question. It's like asking them to stop. Bruh.
We are.
Then, ere you report to Thalmazane, I leave you with these words. You must triumph. What that means will differ for each of you. To make it back home, or to simply avert doom, or perhaps something else altogether. Yet whatever it is that drives you, I have faith in its power to see you through. So please, triumph.
Bro.
Triumph, as we who remain behind believe you will.
Let us be off then.
Wait! Both Kryl and I will be there to see you off, but as your receptionist, I feel I need to say this here. Safe journey, all of you, and be safe.
You too, Totoro. Suppose this is where we part ways for now, at least. What I had sage words of wisdom to share that you depart, perhaps the teachings of God of Baldessian will suffice. Surrender not to anger or to hatred, he said. Look beyond them, and in there find true strength. What one sees beyond is open to interpretation, I think, but for me, it would be the things I cherish most in life, things I believe they're worth most fighting. Something you consider as you venture into the Sea of Stars. Where? Oh, yes. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow, bow. Oh shit, I forgot I could fly. God damn it, Remy.
All present and accounted for? Good. As you will have heard, the Ark is ready. All that remains is to board and be on your way.
I've seen my fair share of tight schedules, but this was bloody murder. But we did it. We finished the ship. It's safe, fit for purpose, and looks good to boot. Aye, it's a garland through and through.
I really don't know what we'd do without you. Thank you for everything.
Ah, don't mention it. Ever since that episode with Omega, I've been toying with the idea of starfaring vessels. And as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. We've learned a lot, let me tell you. In case you're wondering about payment, the ongoing existence of the world ought to do. But feel free to throw in a colorful recounting of your journey on your return. So, have you thought of a name?
A name? Wasn't everyone just calling it Father's teeny tiny toy boat?
Well, seeing as its purpose has changed, I thought a more eloquent name was in order. I suggested as much to Fortuno, who seemed quite amenable to the idea.
No longer the teeny tiny boat? Oh.
As you know, this vessel is the culmination of heretofore unprecedented collaboration. And though said collaboration is owed to the Scions, there is another whose noble deeds made our work possible.
The Blade of Light?
From a fragment of Dalamud, we obtained not only advanced materials such as refined adamantite, but the knowledge to traverse the stars.
Louisoix.
And this fragment would not have found its way to us had the Archon Louisoix not fought to protect this world. And in so doing, laid down his life. Now that the vessel stands complete, I cannot help but wonder if it was more than mere happenstance. If it was my father's intention to guide us here. In the hopes that his guidance will see you all safely home, I name the vessel after that self-same fragment of Dalamud he delivered unto us. The starship Ragnarok.
Huh.
Sorry for the wait. I got everyone you asked for, and not a one less.
The Bee Stripes too?
What are you all doing here?
Oh, I invited them. The representatives of those tribes with religious inclinations. You've done a fine job of readying the Ragnarok, but for it to take flight, we'll of course need the power of the Mother Crystal. Given its immense size, however, transporting it would be an absolute logistical nightmare, not to mention we'd need to shatter it into tiny shards for feeding to the engines. But a brilliant idea came to me. We convert the crystal's energy into forms that can transport themselves!
We're bringing primals?
Thou wouldst employ summoning, or should I say its precursor, creation magics.
Care to explain for our benefit?
We're bringing primals!
As you may have witnessed at Bestways Burrow, the Loporrits are capable of creation magics, which they use to shape the moon's environment. Yet simple though they make it seem, 'tis a highly advanced and exacting art. To perform it correctly requireth that the wielder holdeth the object in his mind's eye in clearest detail.
Hence the ancients' meticulous management of concepts.
Drawing upon this art, the Ascians conceived of summoning as we know it. A derivative that replaceth the complexity of concepts with the simplicity of zealotry to make manifest a creation.
I see. By combining the Loporrit's magics and the tribe's faith, we convert the Mother Crystal into primals of purer form and greater obedience. Summoning as it was intended, one might say.
Indeed! Indeed! While Heidelin gave us the ability to use creation magics, she forbade us from using it to make anything possessed of a soul, or similar. She didn't say anything about fulfilling the desires of others, though. So right, I was getting to that. From what I've read in Sharlayan tomes, it appears the Ascians incorporated an additional nasty element into their summoning method. The fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief. Beings thus created are instilled with the self-same desire and use their powers to enthrall people, starting with the summoner. In contrast, our creation magics, the original and the best, except no substitutes, don't incorporate any of that rubbish, so there's no risk of tempering. I mean, if the being was on the scale of Zodiac, you might feel a little tug, but I think we'll be safe enough.
Truth be told, I do not understand the intricacies of this plan. But none of us would ever turn our backs on you. When the avatars of our faith ran amok, you intervened without decrying we who birthed them. Where others vilified and suppressed us, you offered understanding and friendship. In gratitude, we will share with you the true expressions of our gods. Not malevolent deities,
Bro.
but benevolent saviors.
It's like actual summoning. I love this game!
Alright, you lot, we're heading to the ethereal sea. Stay in sight, else you're liable to get lost.
Lead the way.
May we have a moment? In anticipation of the day man might journey to the stars, we developed these.
Portable teleportation devices. One for each of you, designed to work in tandem. Press the button on one, and in a matter of moments, all 8 will activate and send their owners back to the Ragnarok. There is no telling what hazards you may encounter. If you find yourself separated or lost, please do not hesitate to use them. Be safe, all of you, and come back.
You as well. I pray you take care.
Looks like everything is in order, so I'll go ahead and board. A few of my fellows will remain to assist with the summonings, but rest assured, the vessel won't want for competent crewing.
If you are ready, then you should board as well. Go, and Godspeed.
The leopards are literally like fucking mini gods. It's just Ascians, except without the fuzz. It's like a Final Fantasy game that ends up in space. Yeah. It's very Charlene in here. He's sleeping, my dude.
Welcome to the bridge, everyone! I hope you have everything, because I can't be bothered turning back. Right then, make yourselves comfortable. We're setting off in just a moment.
incredible.
This is Fortuno. Can you hear me? The preparations for the summonings are complete. In accordance with the 14th phase of the plan, we have moved the Ragnarok to the launch site.
The 14th phase, you say?
The gates are open. You may depart when ready.
So, are we ready?
As ready as we'll ever be. Let's get going.
Oh, come on. The burnt-out star's got more fire in its belly. Try it again, with feeling.
Yeah, no, this is me.
Engage!
Engage!
Bro, so cool! We've got a little Star Destroyer, bro.
That I must carry landwalkers into the sky! I cannot imagine a greater indignity!
Do not sulk so. For thy mighty winds exist not only to buffet and batter. Nay, they may serve also to thrust forth with vigor. Such is thy glory, and thus it is an occasion to rejoice. So come, let us revel!
So long as the wind blows freely, I suppose all is as it should be in creation. I will render unto them a storm, that they may pierce the firmament and fly free!
Bruh. Bruh.
Still in one piece? Good. Sleeping way? Report?
All's well. Fantastic, even. Thanks to the power of those primals, the engines are roaring and we're ripping along.
All values are also within projected ranges. Time to destination is 8 carats. Perhaps 7 at a pinch.
Alright, let's go over some points of caution. Our destination, as you know, is Ultima Thule. Lest you wonder, the place is not a star so much as a patch of emptiness. That's the extent of what our equipment could determine, anyway. From what we know of Meteion, she's likely used Dynamis to obfuscate her location.
So, in conclusion, we'll only know what's there when we get there.
The crew and I will see to it the ship's ready to take off at a moment's notice. We'll support the search as best we can, but it'll be your paws on the ground, assuming there is any. But everything will be fine, I'm sure. Hydaelyn believes in you, so you ought to believe in yourselves. Just don't do anything I wouldn't, like waiting too long to use those portable teleporters of yours. Personally, at the slightest sign of trouble, I'd mash the button to bits, and you should as well.
Understood. We promise to be careful.
I suggest you brace yourselves. We're about to arrive and the vessel will shake a good bit.
What is this? Something is interfering with the equipment.
Sounds about right.
Greetings.
You little shit.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
It's Meteion. Meteion, whatever.
So this is Meteion.
Oh. Have you met one of my sisters? I don't remember meeting you myself. But I do know that you're from Atheris. Why have you come? All you had to do was wait. I would have delivered to you your ends.
We didn't ask for that.
I don't understand. All life is destined to end. Why choose to prolong your suffering? Effort, ambition, love, they amount to naught. Happiness, should you find it, is inevitably lost. stolen away by events beyond your control. There is no logic nor meaning in it. You think there is. Convince yourselves. But it's all a cruel accident. Come now. I speak the truth. A truth you would recognize if you looked up at the night sky. Unbroken emptiness. Cold, dark, and silent. Your world, like every other, is but a blemish upon its perfect fabric. Life is an anomaly. It is unnatural and cannot continue. The sooner you accept this, the easier it will be.
Just to be clear, we're not here to argue with you. We know that life is fleeting, and that in the short time we have it, we're not assured happiness.
Indeed. I've seen far more sorrow in the eyes of many I've met. I myself have plenty of regrets. And one day they'll die with me. Gone to dust with my good deeds and unfulfilled dreams.
But we accept this. That our existence may seem pointless. That sorrow, rage, and despair will always dog our heels. And we press on regardless. That is why Hydaelyn guided us here. In her boundless love for mankind, she has prepared us for this trial, and in her name, we have come for you.
Fuck.
Yes, I sense it. A burning passion like unto fury. I know it well. For the same passion once burned in many a star before yours. Suffocated and extinguished now. You approach the bounds of my ultimatum, where emotions dictate reality, where resignation and acceptance unite to embrace the end, where those who yet valiantly cling to life can thrive.
Where's Dankard?
By the Fury.
Thancred?
Meteion has gone as well. Mayhap he awakened first and gave chase.
Everyone? It appears we are at our destination. This is Ultima Thule.
Dankard's dead, dude.
Expect, but I wasn't expecting this. From atmospheric composition to ambient temperatures, all readings are within permissible range. This place is capable of supporting life.
That's not a good thing for us.
If that's the case, then Thancred may well have gone on ahead. Let's go and have a look. Meanwhile, I want the rest of you to perform a full inspection of the ship, as well as a biological scan.
So it was that the brave wayfarers arrived at last at Dream's End.
In following their path walked and history written, I am made keenly aware of one truth. Though the curtains may fall again and again, so long as others take the stage, ever shall there be more tales to tell.
So, let them bring it to a close, I say.
Let the curtains fall upon this, the final chapter in the tale of the star.
Is this a dead star?
As I live and breathe, I live and breathe. Well, the environment itself shouldn't kill us.
Well then, let us search for Thancred while exploring the area. The ship we leave in your care.
Bro.
There's either side. Hell yeah. Of course, if you encounter any real dangers here, I'd expect you to return to Ragnarok at once.
We're fortunate this place can support life, albeit barely. I suspect given the torpid stale quality of the air. But now, never mind that. We must find Thancred. Let's begin our search for the prow of the ship. It seems like as good a direction as any. Try not to stay too far, lest we lose sight of one another. $916 yalms to the north? Sure. Let's go.
I gotta know, how bad is this? Oh, it's nothing. Okay. I expected it to be like 2,000 or something, like $50,000. Alright. This is nothing. Gotta look all around the ship. Ruins, but what I wonder. Perhaps we can find something to help us understand the nature of this place. I don't like an inscription, anything. The metallic pillar has been partially melted, like sometime in the distant past. The damage does not appear to have been inflicted deliberately, rather it calls to mind indiscriminate destruction often wrought in the heat of battle. Look, here the spot is relatively intact. The intricate design at the top suggests it's man-made, though its builders were surely not men as we conceive of them. Having said that, I swear that I've seen this pattern before. Are these Omega-based? I thought this hill might afford a better view of our surroundings. A poor decision in hindsight. Besides the light from the ship, all is surrounded in darkness. If the anchor is here, I'd never know. From what I can tell, we are near the edge of an island, if you can call it that, surrounded by floating debris. Dope choice, though. So cool. Aesthetics count for something. Were you able to find anything? Nope. As I feared. And still no trace of the anchor. There's nothing but emptiness as far as the eye can see, which unfortunately isn't very far. Though I can't help but suspect that someone or something is here. There are times when I sense it drawing close, then chill washes over me, leaving me exhausted. Leaving with the feelings of death and anguish. I felt it too when I was near that thing. What are you talking about? There's nothing there. What do you mean there's nothing there? Before we jump to conclusions, perhaps we should search elsewhere. Agreed. We've only got more questions when we're in desperate need of answers.
There's a fair stretch of terrain for the ship's starboard we've yet to explore.
Let's try searching there then.
Monica, a word before we join the others.
Yeah, cause I'm not fucking crazy. We're not the crazy one, chat.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you, Greg. How you doing, buddy?
You see them too, don't you? The dragons.
I get you, man. I get you. I'm just playing 14. That is the day today, chat. It's a good one. It's a good one.
As I thought, the presence is tenuous at best, but there's no mistaking it. No doubt your bond with Midgard Soma and mine with Nidhogg is what allows us to proceed. Could these operations be related to dragons that now live in Aetheris? Bah. Better leave some conjecture to the others. In any case, we must be careful. We may soon find dragons they could see as well. Death and anguish. What happened to them, I wonder.
Maybe this is like his brood that died when they were traveling? Kind of vibes. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying, game? That feels likely to me. TBH. Guessing these guys, they can't see. Snap. Damn it.
Dragons? Here.
Oh, hey, look, now they can't see him.
What you see is a memory of a world that once was. A world suffering a slow death, whose denizens cried out for the release of oblivion.
Matian.
What? Their world is dead?
I think we're on their dead world, bruh.
It is. Not a single life remains upon that husk floating in the vast emptiness. These creatures are shadow and shade, perpetuated only to suffuse dynamis with their unending lamentations.
Our friend Thancred. Where is he?
A strange question. He is at your side, is he not? Oh yes. He is here, and there, and everywhere within this space. He would tell you himself if he had form to form words. Huh. Such loathing and uncertainty. You don't know why you still exist. In like manner to the oblivion I send, I tried to drown out your ether with dynamis. Beginning with this Thancred, who came at me despite being unable to breathe. Such a simple thing, unmaking men. In the blinking of
no
an eye,
body, no
he was
death,
gone.
chat. I don't believe you.
Didn't even have the chance to be transformed. Yet somehow, he managed to leave a slither of himself behind. What you call the heart? Or perhaps the soul? In his final moment, he cried out from it. A single word. Survive. That wish proved stronger than the despair that ruled here. It overpowered it, causing this space to be remade. Into a place you can perceive, and where life can endure. That you draw breath is proof that his soul lives on. For how long, however, remains to be seen.
Well then, we should hurry and tend to business.
It's futile. You will never reach the true me. I told you, emotions dictate reality in this space. Such changes as you might work will not alter its nature.
Apparently
You
will.
see, but you cannot touch. Walk, but not advance.
Meteon holds too much sway here. How do we contend with a foe who can unmake us on a whim?
I do not know. But Thancred gave his life that we might come this far.
There's no
We
way he's
must
gone, dude.
press on.
No way. No way.
Agreed. We cannot turn tail here. Not without something to show for our comrade's sacrifice.
Why are we just taking her at face value? This would be giving us rise to emotions, and emotions dictate the entirety of the area. Why are we just like, yo, I believe the evil fucking demon child. I guess she's not really a child, though. Dumb choices, fam. Soul without body, a form of being with which we are not wholly unfamiliar. Indeed, we existed in a similar state when residing in the first. The circumstances are rather more dire than that, 'tis true, but I choose to believe he's not forever lost to us. Again, yeah. Regardless, in sacrifice, he hath afforded us the chance to prevail. Let us not squander it and ascertain the nature of this realm, that we might confront and defeat Meteon. Estidian Monica, would you accompany me in speaking with these dragons? Mayhap they can enlighten us. I'd ask the rest of you to survey these surrounds. If there's a path that might lead us to a quarry, we must find it. Very well. We can reconvene here when everyone is finished. Meteon said these dragons are shadow and shade, and from a world which dwells in solid oblivion. As such, they're not like to be amenable to company, let alone conversation, so please be careful. Talk no. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Let's split up and gather what we know, what we may. Those words didn't make a sense. Okay. I visited none of the star. Could thy slender hands bring plague to our world? Thy breath extinguish life's feeble flame? Oh, how we would adore thee, alas! With time our flesh shall wither, our soul shall fade, and so we wait for its inexorable march into oblivion. If thou art not come to hasten our demise, I bid thee leave us. We crave not companionship, only silence. Okay? It's pretty valid for all that, to be honest. Whoop. Beyond that distant veil, paradise lost, so glorious, so beautiful. We were once a proud and noble race, strength embodied, we knew only love before they came. Metal monstrosities of black and silver, no bonds of blood did they share, nor conviction did they guide them. A crushing defeat, never have we known such shame, stilled now we are the winds, though none of these could fill those wings burdened by the ignominy. We fly no more, we sink into oblivion. Yeah, Omega! Freaking Omega. It's literally what it is, shit. Thou wouldst bid me speak. Folly. I observe the lesson of stone. I shall not fly nor speak nor roar, only watch and wait and end. But one sight yet stirreth my blood, and tempteth me to raise my voice in lamentation. Ah no, the cradle of unsung dragons. No words or songs are possessed of the weight to describe such tragedy. Go, if that be thy will, I shall remain.
Okay. They did you hear as well, did they? It was described to me as the source of their woes and the proof of their bitter end. Like I'm beginning to see why. It's a hatching ground, or was. Seems similar on Harris. Midgard's so much kind must have once lived and thrived in places such as this. Feature said his father was driven from their ancestral home by war and strife. This, then, is the fate of those who remained. Let's have a look around. Maybe these eggs have more to tell of what happened to you. Yeah. So, for sure, Omega. Murky liquid has pooled inside this eggshell. The noxious fodder is indicative of containment. Contaminant. Blah. Inside the shattered egg, you find the remains of an unborn dragon. The body has already begun to decompose. The gelatinous, half-dried membrane covering the corpse suggests it failed to emerge. Gingerly lifting a large egg from the vicious mire, you peer inside and see a formless mass soaking in a pool of embryonic fluid. Stomach turn as you return the egg to its resting place. This egg appears to have been broken from the inside out. Perhaps the dragonette within succeeded in hatching. What's this? None of the eggs have been ruined. If the dragonette was indeed hatched, there is no sign of it here, or its sire for that matter. We should look for them. You start with the cliff tops and I'll search the plains. Okay. No. Okay. The boisterous howling hath quieted by thy hand, I presume. Everything alright? I thought I heard a dragon or something else resembling one. Ah, I see what's happened here. Was that your joint? Perhaps some eggs within our know were indeed mine, or life within one did quicken. The beast thou hast slain may be of my blood. Yet I do not recognize it, twisted and malformed as it is. Not a dragon in truth, but a reminder of our failure, a testament to our shame. Explain. They descended from the heavens, cold, heartless machines, and with them rode war and death. With fire and fury, rage and rancor, we gave answer. It was a long and bloody battle, but it was only the beginning. Untold chaos and destruction swept over the star in the end. The invaders were victorious. Yet when they looked upon their prize, they deemed it unfit for acquisition. We were abandoned to our ruin. The survivors sought to put away their shame to rebuild, a futile effort. In purest soil replete with aether did we once cultivate our nesting grounds, but our lands were barren, and any eggs nurtured in such desolation were fated to rot. What few survived to hatch emerged as abominations. We shall have no new progeny. there are dragons among you capable of journeying the other stars. That there are. Many would make the attempt, each bearing a clutch of eggs. The richest stars were home to the harshest rulers. The arrival of dragons incited contests for supremacy. When the fires faded, the wars lost and won. They were too reduced to ash and waste. 'Tis the curse of those who seek life, to be drawn into conflict, to conquer or be conquered. A vicious cycle we now choose to break. We tire of conflict, of everything. We wait now in sweet, merciful silence, free from strife and suffering, still as stone. Wait, you claim your kind is doomed, but there is another star. They want to only brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed. The pain I understand, I wish that I did not. Fools we were. Now isn't the time for such thoughts. Those will want to hear what we've learned. Come. Yeah, it's already Omega. We're able to establish any meaningful contact with the dragons. I see. They wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict. Thank you, Monica. Stydian. As for our part, we believe they are more acutely aware of our confines than before. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island to see if there might be a path leading off it. Sadly, there was nothing to be found. There's no small amount of debris from the ground. Could have been easy enough to serve as a bridge that leads us elsewhere. I considered that, and so tried throwing a stone onto a potential platform to judge its integrity. But it never reaches its mark, as it crosses an invisible threshold just beyond the boundaries of the island, vanished, only to reappear above me, and fall at my feet. I would not be too quick to presume that what we see outside is this space is as it appears. Which is why I returned to the Ragnarok and asked the Laporus to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it's too risky to attempt flying to another island. What Meteion told us before, the emotions dictate reality here, might be the key, but I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. So what you're saying is we've no way forward. At present, it is indeed emotion that governs this island. Perhaps it is not Meteion's, but the dragons that holds us here. They tie of conflict and have chosen the path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they've chosen no path at all, meaning there's no way for the dragons or anyone here on the island to advance. A sound theory, disheartening though it may be. If that is the case, what recourse do we have? They're not like to be persuaded to help us. The reasoning is built on a history of turmoil and strife, without irrefutable proof that the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Perhaps persuasion is not the answer. Meteion meant to unmake us, and they're on Ragnarok. And she would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules ultimate rule, and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it could be done again in a like manner by overpowering the prevailing emotions. 'Twas Ultima Thule's architect, Meteion herself, against whom Thancred did put himself in the clash of wills. Though I marked no leader among them as such, I did chance to encounter a dragon possessed with despair far more potent than the others. Potent enough, mayhap, to dictate the course for others, and thus their domain to follow. He spoke but a few words, carefully chosen, a tone timbre alone, threatened to rend my heart in twain. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. Alas, but I fear my vaunted rhetoric availed me not against his calcified heart, but mayhap one of you will fare better. I shall guide thee. Aland, they call him, in dragon tongue. Thou wilt find him nearby, eyes fixed upon the water. Well, what do we have today? So let's get going. Ooh, he does have like a slight different coloration. It's like a grayish white. Is it just the white? Could just be the lighting though.
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this.
So, waiting to die like all the others, are you? So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the Expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind.
Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No. You must be willing to confront it. To stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us.
Estinian!
Stay back. The rest is up to you.
No!
Okay.
Not Estinian too!
They might be dying.
There's a wind. He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Oh, Alphino.
I am so not okay with this.
Come. Let us follow the wind. It will not lead us astray. He would not.
So each area Cyan's gonna go, and each area is gonna... I don't like it. Look, there, the wind. This is Stinian's doing. I'm sure we should ride its flow and see where it leads.
No as cool.
He did it. He found a way forward for us. The dragons remain within a prison of their own making, lamenting the halls of war, yet he knows them better than most. He's a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. He's still fighting Alpha, just like Thancred. The sacrifices are why we can survive here, while we still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Unless he's right, we must press on for their sake. As Yashdrolanase said, we must continue. Notice the change in our surroundings. Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. To be prudent to learn more of it, tread carefully lest we lose our footing in the sand. Yeah, I think each one's going to be a different place. Each one of Scion's going to end up sacrificing themselves until it ends up being just us. And I don't know if they come back after that. Because that would hurt me the most. And I think that that's what they're aiming for, is pain. That's like a halo. Were not for the violet crystal embedded in the surface, it would appear an ordinary stone. A curious script has been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language for which I am familiar. I cannot say I recognize either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I recall, preserved their knowledge in song and eschewed the writing word entirely. So may assume this is the work of another race, one we've yet to encounter. Meeting unclaimed dragon's world suffers a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, does not wend its way towards a similar end. What do you suppose that is over there? I'm not sure. It's hard to make out in this distance, but its surface seems to bear the same crystals as monument. Maybe it's a chance we might be to find out whoever built them both. We should go have a look. Come on. Go away. Thank you. Do not care what the SC stock dimensions. Hail, travelers, this is the most unexpected occurrence. Hello there, is this your home? Indeed it is, forgive me. I'd forgotten an exchange of introductions, expected when first meeting someone who is unacquainted. When the vibrations of vocal folds are still required to convey our thoughts and intentions, yeah, I believe was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Although it's not entirely practicable given our present state, you're welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature, good God, to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kufkud. Yes, Kufkud of the year. We've encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume that we are having this conversation with the medium Ava, or Dynamis says the spaces suffice with vast quantities. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response to my presence is positive then. That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we are ether-based life forms. Therefore, may we surmise that your bodies are comparable biological composition to one we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I prepared 198,712,180,827. That's a rather a lot, isn't it? Oh, my apologies. I only admitted the great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we've rediscovered a need for flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our earth's forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost through the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It was well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference or sensations, once experienced by people, which may compromise our ability to interact with physical environments. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms. Why? To bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong of a word, it would simply be a matter to unmake ourselves using etheric extinguishators, but such death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only within bodies of flesh. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well, to ensure a fish exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the year where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, be mindful of the wandering desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh can be described as overzealous. Now, if you'll follow me. This is going rather smoothly. Not that I'm complaining, mind. You okay there? Freaking Jarvis is such a goob. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they've created. At any rate, we'll find no answers down here. Let's be on our way. Before we do that, though, however, chat, I gotta go let Jarvis out. You gotta go use the restroom. So, I will be right back. Okay? Okay. See you like these next.
Here's a full screen chat. For sure gonna have to go let him back in a few minutes. So we'll do like 1 or 2 quests. To the west. Perfect. Morning, Josh. Hold on, chat.
Okay, video game. Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers you will find remain idle in their domiciles. Through your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violent crystalline structures hanging from stone structures there. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question and understandable, given your finite nature. Told you. Told you. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If our idleness we are struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. Thus is why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a motile state, rest assured they will not object were you to disturb their respite. You only need cast your thoughts towards one of their crystalline domiciles to communicate. We are tuning, baby. There's no response. Sweet. This is what I always hoped for. We should speak very well. Pray a moment, if you will. Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when I last emerged? Okay. Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? I see. They failed to answer. That's likely because their minds are unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated aether now. Worry not, there are no others who have needed those lodgings. But they will not prove a hindrance as they remain as they are. More importantly, you said if you did answer your request for an LETS, I imagine they will be with us ere long. I know not, but everyone has fair plan enough. Quite a few here have awakened. Ah, there they are. Hold on, chat. May I introduce you to Lalak, Duduk, and Nenid? I'm not using all the word names. It's been too long, Cope. I dare say Cydia 4 has been completed in orbit. Indeed, until the Travis brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Ah, of course, the ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is plain to see as the neighboring systems, but my single count would fail to satisfy the requirement for scientific objectivity. Thus I did bid them awaken you. One struggles to tell who's speaking. Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporeal forms and divergence they afford, mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Cope, I have heard you have already observed the requisite custom for the travelers. That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form. Ah, yes, it has been so long and completely escaped my mind, but... And still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity, I was hoping you would. Perhaps we could search the archives for answer. Come now, Nair. The archives have been long frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further data. Sure you can recall that much. Ah, of course, food. The customers serve food. Beings of flesh such as they are must regularly replenish their aether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate with our friendly intentions. That's right, that's right! We duly invite you to join us for a community repast, after which we engage in leisurely conversation. If you had the chance to learn something, I see no reason to decline. I see a lot of reasons to decline. Like, everything going on. Everything. Bruz. Excellent, if you would care follow, we shall feast on the purest aether. This facility is which we will replenish aether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditionally sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you take a place with your comrades, the space will soon be washed with the purest aether. Please absorb as much as you like. Birds again, but nothing seems to happen. As recreations, our friends are oblivious, in fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amarant. Now, however appearances may seem, we must be ever mindful that the memories of the dead in whom we deal. So, did you ever feel aether? Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your aether? Through your mouths, you say? How primitive and quaint. To think that their mouths serve not only expel sound, but draw on sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems.
Though we regrettably could not partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we cannot fail to wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh and thence vanquish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? Your flesh beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge. In the beginning, when the yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technology advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believe we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible, such as land, to the intangible, such as labor, there exist myriad of hindrances to progress. But the most confining of all was flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see. Too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits.
We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcendence all limitations until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limitation of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena, and thence predict the future. If we could achieve this, we believe that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of your conversation. If you would like to learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of such ignorance. They possess the corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. All of those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? Bros. What does thou think? We deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know, we will disclose you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the pillagers and down the... Okay. Pillars on the edge of town. Got it. A fundamental truth. We were here, of course, so let's learn what has led such enlightened people to an indolent end. I don't like this, cause she's probably gonna want to go. Ere we join the air, there's one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Monica, Grahit's here, might I trouble you for your assistance? But of course. My thanks, we shall head outside the abode. If you'd kindly follow me. I know how much if you are plotting your AJ, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of you should go on ahead to Alagia, lest you worry we won't start without you. Is there 8 their current quests? Oh my god, there is. It's 5. Alright. This place shall serve. Is this spring you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there's not to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention. As we've established here, in ultimate rule, these denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra that they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Meteon doesn't make contact with them, they still lived. That's my guess. Of course, she must have revisited the stars of the dragons any year before the race perished in their entirety. Thus could she make their emotions her own, and with them create more faithful simulacra than she had relied on in historical account. So too did I theorize, and upon the assumption, consider how these two races may have met their demise.
According to the Iron Tale, Mitian perceives the emotions of those nearby as her own. Heightened sense of empathy, intrinsic to her nature, as an entelechy. In the course of her starfaring journey, she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence. Should be powerless before that desire. Even if she possesses the power to grant it, the power of the Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Mitian did unleash the Dynamis and usher the dragons and the Ea into the doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create determinants, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In this place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearned most desperately for oblivion? What do you tell us now? Ne'er again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades. In bringing thee to my confidence, I will remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored before the Crystal Exarch. I was once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side, full knowing we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. If you say my debt is come due, how may I refuse? 'Tis indelicate of me, I know, full well, but I can but beg for thy forgiveness. Yet, even if I must needs go to such lengths, I cannot go and well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to thy question, in what moments might I stand strongest? After all we've seen, all we've been through, I will only say this. Do what you must do, and see your convictions through. I shall, my friend, I shall. Without further ado, then let us go join our comrades. Let us be off to Elgia. Seems everyone's accounted for, shall we then?
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated.
Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter onto an eternal ice age.
In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it.
Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir.
Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture.
Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish.
If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension.
I like the springy noise from Dor.
And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
You stole a gnome! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, it is when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge, and no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all.
But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you. And we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Asm's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you
Shapes from the
mustn't,
shapeless.
for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on. And do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Riange.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled?
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn. Alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Aetheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friends' emotions fade away, along with their protection.
Are you ready to continue on? Then let's wait for the light show and restore Yuri and Jay have opened up a way for us. Okay. In a second. There is 2 Aether quests. Grab this one and come back down. I kinda have to.
the answer to life? 42 would have been a better answer. Should have answered that. But eternal adventure is what Monica would say for sure. That I have no doubt. Bump. Cut it up. Feel it, they're emanating for this arcane pattern. There's the portals, no mistake. Let's see what it needs. Bro, is this Omega? Elegance? There's gotta be a technological race. Technological race. This feels very elegant though. And also very Omega. Mostly Omega though. Amazing, yet another civilization. Attacked as soon as you arrived, not the most welcoming places, is it?
We must try to find denizens who are amenable to conversation.
We should try and get a lay of the land, see how far we can go. I'll help out for not with that. In the meantime, you and Garaha can search for friendly folk.
Apart from being hostile beings, take care of the footing. I mislike the looks of these platforms. Not knowing what the locals are like, you'd best take care of yourselves. We'll find you once you finish exploring.
I expect the twins will seek the outermost bounds of the island, so I propose we start with the central area.
There are machines patrolling here and sentinels in all likelihood. Like those you encountered, they'll most certainly attack any who venture too close. So let's avoid them and look for others that appear more approachable. See you.
This comes first. You've taunted me with it. It's not allowed to happen.
It's an illegal play on the field.
Look, Monica, the machines here do not appear hostile. Let's see if we can communicate with them. Beg your pardon, but we're searching for the denizens of the star. This unknown life forms detected. Assigning generic label interplanetary travels. Greetings and welcome to the planet.
The planet, what? Could you please repeat that?
It appears your hearing organ is unable to process the name in our tongue. Maybe translated into you as Alphatron. Our people, meanwhile, are called the Omicrons. You stand within one of our outposts.
Oh no, not the Omicron virus. The Omicrons, you say? And what is that you do here?
We're preparing for war. We presently do not have a designated target. You have nothing to fear. Should your star become designated, however, you'll be taken into custody or terminated.
Not a little frightening, these Omicrons, but at least they seem forthright. I will see what we can learn from this film. If you could try speaking with the others.
Autonomous weapon development complete. Vanguard armament upgrade complete. Munitions satisfactory. Combat readiness assessment nominal. Waiting instruction from Sir. Greetings, traveler. When venturing outside the outpost, beware of malfunctioning units. They do not heed Sir's commands and indiscriminately attack non-Omicrons. For the avoidance of confusion, please be advised that Sir is the alias of Stigma 1. Sir issues instructions to our forces as foremost of the 6 strategic matrices to bear this designation Stigma.
Ba, 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 ba.
Measuring combat capability. Negligible. Subjects falls outside target parameters. Greetings, traveler. We are the Omicrons, and our objective is self-enhancement. In order to achieve this, we venture further in conquest to acquire combat data and resources. Most recently, we succeeded in subjugating the homeworld of beings whose strength is said to be without parallel, the dragons. Yet, though the endeavor yielded a wealth of combat data, the Star Wars rendered barren and unable to yield resources. A subsequent costing determined that losses incurred exceeded the gains. Yeah, so this literally is Omega's race. Love that this entire storyline's still in the game. Main story now. You learned a few things, so did I. And we share our findings, however, I believe it is best to step outside the outpost. Come with me. Ah, there you are. We finished surveying the area. It's come to no surprise, but there was no way forward. There were portals like the ones we used to get here, but those that worked only sent us to isolated isles. But as is before, we must locate the embodiment of the emotion that bars the way. What of yourselves? Did you find anyone to speak with? So the Omicron seek to advance themselves through conquest. Following through the victory of the dragons, they stand ready for the next campaign, but the leader has yet to issue new commands, and so they wait. And he never will. In such a place, who could be that fits Orion J's description? A soul whose yearning for oblivion surpasses all others. Orion J said this. During our investigation before we joined you in Allegia. So that's the way of it. Why couldn't you just say to all of us? Given what we know of this place, it's certainly a curious state of affairs. While the dragons in the air long for death, the Omicrons long for conflict. As much as that may lead to destruction, it must be considered a distinct desire. In order to find the source of dominant emotion, I believe we should seek out there later, but this is here. According to M032, the first Omicron who spoke, there is a console by which we might communicate with it. M032 believed it would be a pointless exercise, but that in itself, I believe, is worth investigating. What say you? So the console we seek lies on the far side of the aisle. Given the nature of the ground, the route may not be entirely direct as it seems, so the Soul Watcher steps as making it go away. Excellent. Cool. And there's a gemstone trainer. Sparring subject. Hell yeah.
Probably number 3. Should probably have been paying more attention. This appears to be the console, but it seems as responsive. You could take a look at it. No accuracy. Must be a way to activate it. There must.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
As am I. Operating such consoles is trying enough, but if we can't even activate it...
Perhaps there is a way. First, consider the world that has been recreated here. Its inhabitants were machines who gathered combat data to enhance themselves. And among the many wars they waged, the most notable was that against the dragons. As you've doubtless surmised, I believe this was the homeworld of Omega. Sid built a jamming device to defeat it, a device which generated massive bursts of lightning, its sole weakness.
That's all well and good, but what does that... Wait. You're not thinking to strike the console with lightning, are you?
As a matter of fact, I am. Ask yourselves this. Why would an entity as puissant as Omega not be designed to suppress the effects of lightning?
Because it relies upon it, or something akin to it, as a source of energy.
My thoughts exactly. And there is a good chance the same is true of the Omicrons and their devices. So, shall I cast caution to the wind and try something reckless and dramatic?
Or I could use my custom-made Omega Jammer.
You still have it! Sid and Nero's legendary device which brought low the superweapon Omega. Wait, the actual device was much too big to lug around, so you must only have the control module. And there I was getting all excited. Never mind. An old-fashioned spell will suffice.
It worked!
Opening connection to communications module 1. Connection established. Transmission. Strategic Matrix Sigma 1 now online. As the primary strategic matrix, you may address me as Sir. Checking for new communications. None found. All units, please maintain current state. End transmission. Closing connection.
Wait! We have questions for you. Of late, no mission orders have been issued. Why not? Has there been some manner of trouble?
Reply. The Extended Operations Unit is yet to determine guidelines for future assignments. All strategies are calculated, devised, and actioned in accordance with said guidelines. In the interim, all citizens are directed to maintain a state of combat readiness. End reply. Awaiting query.
Can you tell us why the Extended Operations Unit hasn't yet determined the guidelines?
Unable to comply. Information unavailable or access restricted.
In that case, is it possible for us to communicate directly with the unit?
Access denied. Unable to establish connection.
Is there anything you can tell us? Have there been any abnormalities, like a threat to the star or widespread unrest?
Reply. Negative. All citizens continue to operate at maximum efficiency. If your operations are suboptimal, please proceed to a maintenance facility for evaluation. Otherwise, stand by at your designated post. End reply. End transmission. Closing connection.
I could activate it again, but I doubt it would be productive. What do you think?
If all the Omicrons really were running as efficiently as it claimed, then I doubt they were hoping for life here to end. As this Sir told us, there just haven't been any new instructions, and everyone is standing by.
Should be standing by at any rate. If there are those that are neglecting their duties, perhaps we can glean a clue from them. I propose we take another look around, and also try to find the operations unit.
It's a safe bet, at least. Let's focus the search for the outpost. Alice and I will try speaking with the Omicrons this time, and hope that we might learn something new. Meanwhile, perhaps you and Graha could observe them from a distance. These things being systematic and routine by nature, if there are any that aren't, it shouldn't be too difficult to spot them. Let's go! Hell yeah. How you doing, friend? Welcome, welcome. There are no questions, let's begin at once. As you can see, I believe I spied a promising vantage point. Follow me. Cool. We can go back, turn them in, and then we can just go pop over there. Took like half a second.
the one talking to Alphanod. There's these guys. They're just chilling. I'll say talking to a few. Where'd he just go? It's lacking a clear objective. Got him. No one come wandering aimlessly. Where? Ah, I see it. So the base is falling. Yay! I survived my first dungeon! Yo, Pog!